IP theft or intellectual property theft is when someone steals an idea and uses that idea to make a copy an invention or make a product or a service that somehow steals another company's or another person's protected idea. Not all ideas are protected. For it to qualify as intellectual property, you have to legally protect it. Things like copyright or patent protection. You have to file for a patent. Some ideas are harder to protect than others. Like in my experience, games, board games or video games that have these concepts that could be widely applied, it can be tricky to protect those in such a way that another person, if someone else uses it, then the company could effectively sue that person uh, for stealing their idea. Other things like think the Coca-Cola recipe, very, very valuable intellectual property. How much money do you think Coca-Cola spends to protect their secret recipe to make Coke? And how much money would they lose if someone stole that and used it to make their own brand of Coke? Very, very valuable intellectual property like that we don't want stolen. Another common scenario in my experience is when you're working for a company and you come up with some sort of invention, maybe a piece of code, and you want to use that code, even though you built it on company time, you want to use that code elsewhere. You want to be careful with that. In my experience, if it's a general utility, a very general use case, you're okay using it. If it's a patentable invention with many lines of code, I don't know, 30, 40 plus lines of code, or a piece of artwork that you spent, you're at risk of violating that IP unless you make it significantly different. If you make it 30% or so different, then and you wouldn't copy and paste and then make it different, but you'd start it from scratch. As long as it's sufficiently different, then you're okay using that idea or using the artwork or code or whatever it is that's protected. What's your opinion on the ethics side? What's the difference between when is an idea okay to use and when is it IP theft?